Hello and welcome to the No Easy Way Out podcast. My name is Tony Nash and we are coming to you as always from the Armory in beautiful downtown Owosso, home to my company AZ Business Solutions, where we help grow your brand from A to Z. Now I'm joined today by a couple of people. First of all, my wife, honey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First time on the podcast. She's a big talker, so she's super excited about being on the show today. And we're also joined by the owner of Fitness Coliseum and one of the head trainers, Bree and Missy. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Hello.
All right, so I met you guys. Well, I have a different story for each of you. I met Missy. I became the general manager of the Comstock Inn and Conference Center in downtown Owosso, Michigan. Probably, back in 2011, 12, something like that. And Missy was already working there, and she was one of my employees, but she did just about everything but housekeeping. Yeah, she kind of refused to do housekeeping. But
no, thank you.
She worked the desk, she worked the audit, she worked banquets, she worked bartender, server, even had her in the kitchen a few times.
Yep.
So she was a great employee to have. And I remember she always talked then about wanting to be a personal trainer. And so we'll talk about how you got there. Good job.
Yeah, thanks.
And then Bree, I actually met you through Missy. I was sitting at Johnny V's, I believe, one day, and she introduced me to you and said you had just acquired the Fitness Coliseum.
Yep.
And so that was kind of cool. We talked a little bit then about doing some marketing for it. And then, about 3-4 months ago, you guys had mentioned that you had this 6-week program that you wanted to market, and my wheels started spinning. And I thought, what would be the best way to market something like that? Well, at that same time, I had seen Justin Horvath, who is in the building with us, who had gone through the program and has been with Fitness Coliseum for a while and had an amazing transformation.
Yeah, he's a year almost right now.
Yeah.
With us. Yep.
Had an amazing transformation and started with 6 weeks, or did at some point. And I said, man, the best way to sell that to me is to actually see somebody go through it. So I had the idea of, let's get like a couple that would be willing to go through the program and put themselves out there and make a video and kind of show the audience a journey through the 6 weeks and all the life changes and different things. Well, and then it dawned on me that, hey, I'm a pretty fat guy.
You are a couple.
I got that.
You are a couple.
I'm a couple, yeah. My wife and I have been talking about doing something, and we've tried everything in the world.
Yeah.
And so I met with you guys, presented it right away. You were on board and excited about it. And so we did it, and we've made it through, and we'll talk about our journey here on the podcast in a little bit. But why don't you tell our audience about Fitness Coliseum and what it is and why it's different than, other gyms?
Yeah, I'd love to. So Fitness Coliseum is a group fitness boot camp style gym here in Owosso. Like Tony said, I'm the owner. I'm Bree. Missy's my head trainer. She's my right hand. And Fitness Coliseum is really about any type of person, any age, any fitness level, any confidence level, any injury level, being able to come in and improve their fitness from wherever they're at. So you could come in as an avid exerciser just looking to change up your routine, or be someone brand new, never exercise. Either way, you can come in, get a great workout, better yourself, meet some awesome people, be a part of an awesome community. And that's really what we're all about, is just bringing that whole list of things together for people here in Owosso.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, and I can speak for my wife and I think, to say that we have thoroughly enjoyed it. It is definitely not like any other gym we've been a part of, would you say?
No, not at all.
No,
Not at all.
we here in town, we've been members at Planet Fitness. And when they first came in, $10 a month, and you get to tan and everything.
$10 to not use it.
Yeah.
Pizza party.
And you get Tootsie Rolls and pizza and donuts. And so we did it for a little while. And even there was a time period where both of us probably went consistently for about 4 or 5 months and just didn't see the results.
Yeah.
Right.
We went to the YMCA, members there. We're still currently members at the Y, mostly for our kids
Your
so they can
kids,
play
yeah.
basketball. And then we were members at Powerhouse Gym. And so, we've tried P90X, we've tried, Beachbody subscription where you just pick a workout and, there's all kinds of excuses of why we didn't do it. And I'm sure a lot of those things can work. I'm not saying that they don't, but they didn't work for us.
Right.
Right.
And we came to Fitness Coliseum and kind of learned about the program and realized right away we were doing everything wrong as far as our workouts, our diet, and even, our best intentions were just that, good intentions. And we just have learned so much about what it takes to really be healthy and not just, look good, but to feel good. And so it is different. It is a different style gym, but we like it. We wouldn't want to do anything else. As a matter of fact, while we were on vacation in Florida recently, we were trying to do workouts in the fitness centers, And we just found
It
it.
was just so boring.
Yeah.
So boring.
Yeah, and then we found a boot camp style place that allowed us to come in, and we're like, we felt more, at home.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's been really good for us. So.
Yeah.
But I want to do this thing that we always do on the show. We do a game called This or That. But since we have two of you today, I came up with a game called Bree or Missy. So I'm going to give you two choices.
Okay.
And you got to tell me which one is who. And I know you guys are very competitive with each other. And we'll see you in the gym. I know you
Little
guys
bit.
are close, but you're like sisters. So I
Little
see you in the
bit.
gym kind of talking a little smack to each other.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no comparison to us. And you guys always kick our butts. But you guys both have your thing. So I just want to give our audience a little chance to get to know you here. So I'm going to give you a thing, and you tell me whether it's Bree or Missy.
Okay.
You guys ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Most likely to wake up early.
Me.
Missy.
Missy.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Most likely to go to bed late.
Me.
Bree.
For
You're a night
sure.
owl.
Night
Yeah.
owl.
All right.
I'm working on it because I do have to wake up early, so
Yeah.
I should go to bed early. So I'm
Right.
working on that.
Like sleeping in reverse, right?
Yeah.
Like go to bed. Who wins in a foot race?
Me. You?
Missy?
If
Well,
it's
like a 100-yard dash.
me. If it's a sprint, it's me. If
Yeah.
it's anything longer than like 200 yards, it's Missy.
She's
Yeah.
got the endurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a sprint, it's me though.
Yeah.
All right. What about a deadlift competition? Who wins a deadlift?
Definitely. Bree.
Definitely me.
Yeah, Bree loves to lift things, doesn't she?
She does.
Yeah.
Wait, you got to capitalize on what you're good at.
Yeah.
I can pick up some things.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
Best meal prep chef.
Missy.
Me.
All right. No debate there.
No, I'm super boring. I'll eat the same thing for a month.
I love to cook.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could. I have to eat something different though, like every day. If I eat the
Oh,
same
wow.
thing every day, I would die if I was on Bree's diet.
I've had avocado
couldn't do
toast every single day for literally the last month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
See, I'm like Bree. I'm a creature of habit. I don't mind eating the same things.
Yeah.
What gets me in trouble every time is when I don't know what I'm going to eat for dinner. Like
Mm-hmm.
if we didn't think ahead or plan something, and then it just gets to the point like, all right, I'm hungry now and I need something to eat right
Yeah,
now.
and then that's when you eat something crappy.
Exactly.
So you just gotta.
so
I
plan.
can open the pantry and be like, let's make this with all like
You're
I can
like
see
a
it.
kitchen sink cook. You
Yeah.
can grab from everywhere
Yeah.
and make something good.
I'm
Yeah.
a prep and prepare, but I can grocery shop in like 8 minutes
Oh wow.
because I buy the same thing every week.
Well, you're not
True.
also
You
buying
should-
for
yeah.
6 children.
Right.
That's true. I'm only buying for myself, and I buy the same thing every week. I can literally make it through Kroger in 8 minutes. I have timed myself.
So
Nice.
impressive.
Well, this is another reason why the 6-week challenge was so good for us, because the meal plan you get is so inclusive, not with just here's what you should eat, but
Yeah.
it breaks it down by meal, tells
That's
you
how
which foods you
much.
can eat and what you can't.
Yep.
It gives you shopping lists. It gives you suggestions of how to order when you eat out, and it gives you recipes based to your specific weight
Yeah.
and what the portion sizes are. So, we're so busy that for something spelled out for us has been really, really good.
Yeah.
So, all right. Most likely to cry at a sad movie.
Bree.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of movies get you?
Not your normal sad movies. Like I'm not like a Notebook crier.
Yeah.
Like no, I'm a sports movie crier. Like Miracle, I cry every time. Remember the Titans, I cry every time. I cry at Hoosiers.
Rocky 4.
Yep, Rocky IV. The Mighty Ducks, love that movie. Cry.
It's a tearjerker.
Oh,
I'm with you.
man.
I'm with you. Bree, you and I are more alike than I realized. All right. Who is most likely to stay home when everyone else is going out?
Me.
Missy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A homebody.
Well,
I am.
She's an old lady.
I
She's in her 30s
I
now.
know. I think I had so many years of being the opposite schedule. Like I would go out at 3 and get home at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So now that
Bartending.
bartending. So now that my schedule
She wasn't just a
reversed-
wild party.
Yeah.
She was a bartender.
No, I
Don't
mean
worry,
my
guys.
life was a party.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, I can go to bed at 8.
All right. Who will get married first?
Missy.
Mm.
Well, Missy should get
I
married
should.
first.
I'm on track to get married first.
So as long as I've known you, you've been with the same guy.
Yes.
Dusty.
Yep.
And how long has that been?
This year is 8 years.
The 8-year engagement.
Yep.
Will it be the 9-year engagement?
Maybe.
The 10-year engagement?
Probably.
All right, Dusty.
I think Missy
Challenge
might
is on.
quit if I get married before her. Like if I have some sort of like shotgun romance.
I
and
will
get
be at,
engaged,
like, the
Dusty's
point-
gonna be in some trouble.
Isn't there like common law at this point?
I feel like 2 more years.
Yeah, that's it.
It'll be.
That's the timeline. Okay.
I
Well-
don't know. At this point, I just I'll be surprised.
Maybe he's waiting for you to be fully surprised. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, he's waiting for you to give up all hope.
Yeah. Whose life would make a better reality TV show?
Breeze.
Mine,
Definitely.
for sure. I
Yeah.
got some characters in my life.
Yeah.
My family's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we all got those crazy family members. All right, so not playing against Michigan State, because I know you're both Michigan State fans.
Yes.
That's a clear thing.
Yes.
But not playing against State. Michigan's playing in a big game, championship game against a team that nobody really cares about.
Ohio
Who's
State.
most like Ohio State? Who's most likely to cheer for Michigan?
Me.
Yeah, it's not me.
You won't
Me.
cheer for Michigan?
I won't.
Now, Dusty's a Michigan fan,
He's
right?
a Michigan fan. My whole family is Michigan fan.
Yeah.
I'm outcasted. But I just like college sports. Like Saturdays now, we have like 2-3 TVs set up or the computer. Like we're watching
Yeah, multiple games.
everything. So
Yeah.
I have too
I'm-
many obnoxious Michigan fans in my life that I just like can't
can't.
do it.
Yeah,
Can't
it
do
was
it.
a tough day
I
on
went to
Saturday.
State like Spartan through and through.
It was a tough day on Saturday. We won't talk about
We
that.
don't. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that one.
I'm glad Michigan had a bye.
almost threw up. I almost threw up.
It was bad.
I'm glad the
Yeah.
neighbors weren't home. It was bad.
All right, last question to this is, what is each of your favorite type of workout?
Like we talked about earlier, I like to lift. I'm like into Olympic lifting right now, so I'm doing that a little bit on the side, and I like the strength focused workouts. I would much rather go heavy any day.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm more of a hit, high intensity intervals. I like to put heavy weights into the interval training, but I like it to be like hard and fast and short and sweet and call it a day.
All right.
Always throw in some burpees if you're
Always
if
burpees.
you're doing a workout with me.
If you're working out with me,
burpees.
you're gonna burpee for
we
sure.
know that to be true.
Yeah.
We know that to be true.
The burpee queen.
I love it.
I'm getting there with the burpees. I still can't completely do one full, but like I'm not using a bench anymore.
Yeah.
And after like the one we did recently where you included burpees between every workout, like
Yep.
do 3 burpees between the actual workout.
between each
Yeah.
set.
Was it 3 or 4?
It was
No,
5.
It was 5. And then like first couple I was gung ho, and then I'm like, all right, I had to just
I'm
like,
over this.
I wasn't
forget
over
it,
it. My
I'm
body
onto
was
a
over it.
bench.
Like my body's like, nope, you're not doing it anymore. So, well then,
Yep.
all right. Well, that gives our audience a little chance to kind of get to know you guys, your personality, and of course, if you join the gym, you will get to know each of them,
Yeah.
and they are always so positive, upbeat. They never seem like they're dreading being there. So helpful, encouraging, motivational, and so I appreciate getting to know you guys even more on this level. But I want to talk a little bit about our 6-week challenge, which
Yeah.
we recently completed. We both have had an amazing transformation in our lives, not just from a weight standpoint, but from an apparel standpoint, from the way we feel kind of standpoint. Our lives have really changed for the better in
Yeah.
such a short amount of time. And it really kind of flew by for us.
Right.
But, honey, what's your biggest takeaway from the 6-week challenge?
Biggest takeaway. It was an awesome journey, I think, just for like us as a couple.
Yeah.
Because normally it's like I'm gung ho and I'm on this diet and I'm gonna do great, and then he's coming home with cookies and ice cream, and so with
We'll
us,
start tomorrow.
yeah, they're like, it's okay, it's just a cookie, and then I eat a sleeve of cookies, But I think going through the program together has been awesome, and seeing like I can actually do it.
Yeah.
Because to watch the videos and you see some of the people on there and you're like, there's no way I'm ever going to do that. But then you get a couple weeks in and you're like, I'm almost to that point where I can do that move,
Yeah.
But the journey together, and the fact that everybody in the gym is so encouraging. Like people,
Yeah.
and there's new people all the time that I've never met, and they're like, good job, So it's an encouraging group, and, you guys are encouraging, and it just keeps you motivated to keep going.
For sure. For me, like she said, doing it together has been amazing for us, just even for our relationship. It's actually funny. I was going through my 2019 goals, and I try to review them from time to time. And one of the goals I wrote down at the beginning of 2019 was to find a hobby to do with Danica, because we've been so busy being mom and dad. We
Yeah.
don't really do anything together, just the two of us. And so it's like we get a date, at least 3 or 4 days a week, just the two of us. And so that's been awesome, and definitely has been easier
Right.
that we're both eating healthy
I would say,
together.
have you
Yeah.
noticed how many couples are at the gym?
Yeah.
Have you realized that? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a lot. And exactly for those reasons. It's easier to have support at home of someone
Yep.
who's in the same mindset. It's something to do together. You know, it's
And they're not putting the junk food in front of you.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, and when you
Absolutely.
make a meal, it's not like you're making your meal and then everybody
for-
else's.
yeah.
It's you're doing it together. So
Yeah.
So basically, the 6-week challenge in a nutshell is you come in first day and you do a body scan, and they put you on this machine.
it's like the worst part.
Yeah. They put you on this machine that looks like a scale, but it's got handles. And then it just starts like sending electrodes to your
Yep,
body, which you
it's-
don't feel.
Yep, it sends little electrical signals through your body, and based on how long it takes them to get from your hands to your feet, essentially it can tell us how much body fat you have, how much muscle mass you have, what your body fat percentage is. It, like turns you into numbers. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. And so you go in there knowing, like,
Yeah,
in
it's
quotes.
amazing.
You go in there knowing, like, I'm fat, I got to do something. And then you come out of there going, I'm really fat. I got to do something. Like, it shows you where it's all at. It shows you what parts of your body are
Not that
struggling.
you don't
the most.
know, but when you see it in
And
numbers,
broken
Yeah.
it's
down in
like,
numbers
yeah.
is a real
Okay.
reality check.
I was fixated on the fact that it told me I was like 42% body fat. And I am not the best mathematician, but I realized that's almost half. And I was like, are you telling me that almost half of my body is fat? I'm like, this is not good. And again, we knew we were out of shape and overweight, and we knew how we were feeling, but it
Yeah.
really just reveals everything to you.
Yeah.
And it gives you things that you need to target and focus on. But it also helps produce for us the meal plan based on where you're at. And so you're not just giving you a general thing for everybody. It tells you, based on where you're at, this is what you should eat. So that's fantastic. So then they give you your meal plans, which is very, very thorough, giving you, not just the list again, but everything you should buy, eat, when you should eat it, what times a day, and all of that good stuff. And so you take that home. We did our meal prep, and then we start going to the gym. And it's not like there's a day one for you at the gym. Like, you join into the workouts, do what everybody
Oh,
else
yeah.
is doing.
Yeah, you
Jump
jump
right
right
in.
in.
Yeah. But then the coaches are really good. You guys are really good about
help and
showing
modify.
us modifications because
Separating you from the pack without people noticing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the one thing is they said like there's no official start date. Like
Yeah.
for everyone has their own start date, but your guys' day one could be 2 days after or 2 days before someone else's day one.
Yeah.
Right.
So
or a year after
yeah,
their day
or
one.
a
Yeah.
year or 5 year after someone
Yeah.
else's day one. So people always ask me like, oh, is there a beginner's class? I'm like, not really, because everyone, you're coming in on a rolling basis, and
Yeah.
you're gonna jump in. We're gonna help you modify from exactly where you're at, and there's gonna be people there who maybe have been there longer than you, but are still modifying the same amount because
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
they're older or have an injury or whatever. And I'm sure you guys know, no one cares.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
No one
No one
cares that you're
cares.
doing a modified burpee. No one cares.
Everyone's
No,
kind
are
of
you sure
watching
you are?
themselves.
Right,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
watch 'em,
Yeah.
but they're encouraging. Like if you're like struggling,
Like they're happy that
they're
you're
like,
there.
"Good job, keep going."
Yeah, and they'll
you're
keep
like,
you going, but
"Okay."
they don't care if you're doing a modified version or the
No.
more intense version.
Nope.
Like,
I never felt judged once,
No.
except for by myself.
Yeah.
And, I know this can sound intimidating to some people, or like my wife even said when she saw the videos, she was intimidated. But when I suggested this to her, like, we're going to do this together, she was all on board with it. She's like,
Yeah.
let's go, let's do
Yeah.
it. But when you come in, I would encourage anybody listening that when you come in to realize you're jumping into a class halfway through, or, that's been going for a while. I say halfway through, but you're coming into a class that's rolling. So you're not, there's no day one.
Yeah.
So to pace yourself. Because
Yep.
we know
Absolutely.
for me, I came in day one, and
Got
even though
a
you
little-
guys told me, like, hey,
Don't.
just don't overdo it.
Yeah.
It's just something in my mind is stronger than what's in my body, and I'm like, I can do this. And so looking around and seeing everybody, I wanted to keep up.
Yeah.
And
you got to keep the blinders on.
yeah, well, on day
Into
two,
you.
as you know, I hurt my back really bad and had to sit out, have to work out. Missy had to spend a bunch of time trying to get my back right and doing some stretches and rolling bars and all these different things. And I finally got to the point where I felt like I could jump back in, although I couldn't stand up straight. Then 5 minutes later, I hurt my shoulder doing a snatch because I'm trying to do way too much
You're out
weight.
there
Way
trying
too
to
much
keep
weight.
up with Devin.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm thinking to myself, these guys thinking, this guy is such a baby. Like,
You kept coming up to me like, for real, like I'm not normally like this. For real. Like I'm like, you don't have to
And Missy kept being like, for real,
like
slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you
my
don't
ego.
you don't have to explain anything to me. I already know.
well, yeah. So then I got this mantra. It was I think it was Bree that said it to me. She said, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And that literally has become my mantra. And you have no idea how many times, even now, Because as you feel stronger, you start to, I'm going to try a little more. I'm going to try a little more weight. I'm
Yep.
going to try to do a full burpee. I'm going to try to do what that guy just did. There's still that competitive spirit in me, but I have to whisper to myself, and this sounds weird,
Yeah.
but I do it all the time. Marathon, not a sprint.
There's a lot of
Marathon, not
people
a
that, outside of mantras, but like if you listen or pay attention, people are under their breath, like during a hard workout, are actually telling themselves to keep going. You can do it. Like
Yeah.
I talk
if
to
you
myself
say
on the
it out
regular.
loud, yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes saying it out loud even pushes the mantra even further. Like, okay, I can do this.
You got this. 3 more.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I say it in my head. I'm like, okay,
Come on.
yeah, 3 more. Okay, 2 more. Okay, 1
For
more.
sure.
Like,
Yep.
keep
Yeah.
going, keep going.
For sure. Yeah, I kind of always have to say things in my head to kind of make sure that I keep moving,
Yeah.
and keep going. But I heard this thing recently that said, if it took you 20 years to get where you're at in your overweight, you're not going to get back to where you were 20 years ago in
In-
6 weeks
Yeah.
or
Right.
in 3 months. It's going to take time. Now, it shouldn't take you 20 years either to
Right.
get back there, but to be patient and to understand that this is a change of lifestyle. And one of the things you guys always encourage everyone to do is to not just go on a crash diet, but to really change your habits. And what this has done for us probably more than anything is it really has changed our lifestyle habits. And they say it takes 21 days to build a habit. Well, we did it for like to the T for 6 weeks straight. And even now we're still sticking with it. With maybe an idle meal here or there, but every single time we eat an idle meal, every time we're like, I don't want to do that again. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
'Cause you
not
feel like
worth it.
crap.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't
You
feel good.
instantly feel gross.
And then like I'm not going to have the progress this week that I would have had, or you just feel that way. And
Yeah.
then if you get on the scale and you see, I didn't lose what I thought, you blame everything on that one meal. And,
Right.
and also we know that's not what
That
it is.
piece
but
of pepperoni.
I literally
Yeah.
just sent out an email today to a bunch of people who are just starting their 3rd week of the challenge. And I said, like, this is like you got through your first 2 weeks where like that's very short term. Like you made it through 2 weeks, congratulations. Keep planning, don't get complacent, and then like keep in mind that every choice matters. And that's something that you learn to do as this
Right.
becomes a lifestyle. Is it's not, don't look 10 years into the future. Look at this particular choice in this particular moment. What choice am I going to make to get me closer to where I want to be?
Right.
And if 99 or 90% of the time you make the choice that does move you one step closer, that's when you see
Results.
those 20 years of changes, come back versus, every other one, I'm picking something that's pulling me negative or something like that. It's just one choice at a time. One choice at a time.
And that's the thing. I think this applies to anybody in any situation in life, not just weight loss. But this is why it's so important that you have a goal.
Yeah.
In life, in business, in your relationships, in your family, in your health, have a goal. That way you know what you're working towards. Because when you don't know where you're going, you're just driving aimlessly, you're going to end up in the wrong destination. But like for me, with the 6 weeks, you guys set a goal for this. That helped me for 6 weeks. And now it's like, okay, it's up to me to set some goals for my life. And so I literally went into my calendar and said, I want to be this much weight by the first of the year. And so I went and said, okay, every Monday to be on that pace, every Monday, this is what I should weigh.
Yeah.
And so having that goal helps me know when I stay on track. And so then it helps your daily decision making.
Yeah.
So when I say, all right, those cookies look really good, can I have a cookie? Yeah, I'm a grown man. I can have as many cookies as I want. Nobody's telling me not to eat a cookie. But I now, so life's about choices, right? We're free people. Nobody's going to make me not eat a cookie. So now it's saying, is that the right choice for me? Is
Right.
that
Yeah.
cookie, as
Right.
much as it's going to taste good for that minute, is it going to take me closer to my goal?
And is it worth it?
Is it
at
worth
this
it?
point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many burpees is Missy going to make me do to get that cookie off my
How many
body?
burpees is a taco worth,
I was
right?
Yeah.
gonna say it's a taco worth
Yeah, exactly. So
probably 100.
I think the takeaway in that would be
Yikes.
any of you out there to know where you're headed in life and in goal. That will help you with your daily decision making. So I just want to kind of have you guys talk about, we talked a little about our journey. Of course, we went the full 6 weeks. In the middle, we had 2 trips out of state
Right.
where we had to find ways to eat right and exercise. But we had amazing
I
results.
say your
I mean,
final
Yeah.
numbers were awesome.
Really
yeah, I
good.
think between the two of us, we lost almost 50 pounds, like almost 10% of body fat.
Yeah.
Your before and afters were insane.
Yeah,
So
before
good.
and after
The
pictures.
before and after pictures is what made me happy.
Yeah.
Brings tears to your eyes.
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
really
it
does.
did.
When you've struggled for so long and then you see it and you know, all right, this is possible. And then our message to everybody. Now, we don't want to become those people they're like, okay, you had 6 weeks of success, so now we're going to judge everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't want to be those people, because I've been around those people that they start doing something and now they're the expert on everything.
Yep.
So we're just trying to encourage our loved ones, because we both have family members that are overweight and friends, trying to encourage them that they can do it and to try to take a positive approach. But I'll tell you, it is a struggle. People are afraid. They're afraid
It's
of it.
one of the biggest fears out there. The number of times
Yeah.
I've had people say they drove to the gym, literally drove into our parking lot, and then turned around because they were too scared to walk in, like literally is more than 10. I've had more than 10 people do that because
Yeah.
it's so stressful to some people because
Yep.
they're out of their comfort zone, and it's something new, and it's something they're not confident in, and so it's
Yeah.
and it's one thing, like, you guys are, I feel like, taking an awesome stance on it because you now are getting that, like, I feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want all of you to feel like this.
Right.
Like, I see how tired you are, or I see how not confident you are, et cetera, et cetera. I want you to feel like this. Like, I
Right.
want to give some of that to you. So you guys, I feel like, are really approaching it from a great standpoint.
Yeah, and absolutely. And we both have also noticed that since the 6 weeks has been over, I know for me mentally, I just didn't even allow myself to entertain the thought of cheating on the diet. It wasn't even an option. Like, I'm going to do this. But now that I'm off, it's almost like there's that little bit of, well, I could or I can, and it's still tempting. Like, I want people to understand that it's not like it's a magic pill that all of a sudden it goes away and there's never temptation, but then your mindset just starts to change, and you start
Yeah.
to recognize, like, what's worth it and what's not worth it. So yeah, I want to get from you guys, just for our audience, your perspective on how the 6 weeks went and what you guys noticed change in our lives as an outside perspective.
I think, so from my perspective on the two of you is a little bit different. So
Yeah.
Danica, the biggest thing I noticed about you, and Missy will attest to this 100%, was your confidence changed
Yes.
over your 6 week dramatically.
Yes.
Like, I remember the first day you walked in the gym and you guys came in for your weigh-in, you had like 6 layers of tank tops on and your shoulders were all
hoodie.
rounded out, and you were
She's
like,
hiding.
you didn't want me to look at the scale.
Yeah.
Like, you were terrified to be there. I remember it, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, so vividly. And then every time you came in for a class, you got more and more confident. You would
Yep.
come in, you stopped looking around as much and seeming as unsure, and you were just going for it. And then those, like, the last couple of weeks, you walk in, you know what you're doing. You guys brought your kids a couple, starting last week, and Danica's like showing them how to warm up and like fixing their form, and
Like,
it was awesome.
Yeah, Mom
And-
knows what she's doing.
Yeah, Mom knows what she's doing. Like, she's got
And she's
this.
outdoing those teenage
Oh, yeah.
boys on some of the
Yeah.
things,
Oh, yeah.
which she does brag about a lot.
Yeah.
Well, they act like they know how to do everything, and I'm like, I've been coming for
Yeah.
6 weeks. I know how to
Talking
do
some
this.
smack.
It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's fun to talk smack to your kids.
A
I'm
lot
sure.
of parents do, too.
Yeah.
for sure.
So it's like warranted.
So that's the biggest change I saw in Danica. Like,
Yeah,
obviously your
I
body
agree.
composition changed, and I remember
Yep.
like one day looking at you and being like, I remember how that tank top fit you 3 weeks ago, and it
Yeah.
did not fit like this.
I know. We
Yeah.
were just watching our videos, and I'm like, I can't even wear that tank top anymore. It's
Yeah,
like floating on
yeah,
me.
it's
Yeah.
floating. So, but your confidence level was insane.
For sure. I
Yeah.
noticed that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And then I think Tony's biggest difference, well, one, your gut, like, and like
dad
trying to just
bod.
straight up looking at you, like, you are so much smaller,
Narrower, yeah.
but
Yeah.
how well you were able to just like physically
The
move your
move.
body in
Yeah.
class was way better. Like, at the beginning, like, you couldn't get into a full squat. Like you said a couple times, you couldn't do a full burpee.
Couldn't touch my toes.
Couldn't touch your
Yeah.
toes. So many things, and now you can actually, like, you have your fully functional body back.
Yeah.
Which is amazing to me that so many people don't. So
Yeah.
many people, and it's not even like older people. Like, you can
Yeah.
be in your mid-30s
And not be able to
not
touch
be
your
able to touch your
toes.
toes, not be able to get out of a chair without lifting yourself up with your arms also, or
Yeah.
holding on to the handle in your truck to get into your truck,
get
like
in and
those
out,
types
yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you can start, you don't realize what you're missing until you can do them again, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's easy to put my shoes on, like crazy.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually a video clip we have where, like, I was doing stretches, but I bent over without bending my knees and touched both of my toes, and I looked up like, I just touched my
Like,
toes.
oh my God, did anybody see that?
And like, everyone's like, okay, but I'm like, this never happens. Like, it was such a, like, an epiphany, like a big moment for me.
I've had a few people like doing the seated hamstring stretch, so legs are straight and you're reaching for your toes. And I've had a few people just blurt out, oh my God, I touched my toes. Like, it's a thing.
I had someone run into the back room one time. Jim did.
Yeah.
The first time Jim touched his toes, he ran into the back room, sat on the floor, and goes, Bree, look. And reaches out and touches his toes.
There's a memory that Zach, my production guy, would have. We were riding in his car. This was not so long ago, maybe 6 months ago, and something fell down between my legs. And he's got like a Chevy Impala, so it's a little bit lower to the ground. But I tried to bend over it. I think it was my keys. I tried to bend over it just on the floorboard and get this keys. And he's dying laughing, like, dude, just get the keys. And I'm like, try to put a medicine ball between your legs and your chest and try to bend. Like, I couldn't get it. I had to wait till I got out of the car. And this guy's dying. And that memory sticks out to me, like, because now it's like,
Laugh at me now.
I put my socks on standing up, and that's just this, like,
It's amazing.
Snap.
what some people might take for granted is
Right.
a huge
Yeah.
NSV for Mr. Nash. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, well, again, thank you guys so much for everything.
Absolutely.
And we're just beginning. We're not done.
I'm excited to watch your journey for sure.
Yeah, we're moving forward. We have some short-term goals, some long-term goals, but we foresee ourselves doing this for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we are about now, and
That's awesome.
so at least you got some lifetime members
Perfect.
out of us. So, so I just want to, for a minute here, I just want you to give us, like, how did you get into this? You guys are both so young compared to us, at least. To me, it's very inspirational to see a young person have their own business, and then have you, who were so excited about wanting to be a personal trainer, actually be doing that now for a living.
Yeah.
But tell us just a little bit how you guys got to this point, and how you became the owner, and how you became the trainer.
Yeah, so I kind of had a little bit of a funky path, which I feel like almost everyone does.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't? But I graduated from Owosso, so didn't grow up far from here, and went to Michigan State for dietetics, so which is like clinical nutrition. And I originally wanted to work in the more clinical field, but while I was in college, I started training. I was working at different gyms and things, and really found a passion for that as well. So that's where like my background in fitness and nutrition came from. When I graduated from state, I actually moved down to the Florida area and did my internship at a VA hospital down there, which I loved. I loved working with the veterans, but realized that the clinical life was not for me. It was a little bit too much the same every day, a little bit too much structure. I like to have a little bit more of like chaos in my life. I kind of thrive on it. So clinical wasn't for me. I waited tables for a little while on the beach down there, which had plenty of chaos.
I think all four of us did that at some point.
Yeah.
We all waited tables.
Yeah,
It's a great
I
gig.
think
I love it.
Some countries make you go to the military. Like everyone has to spend 2 years in the military. I think in the U.S., everyone should have to spend 2 years waiting tables.
Yeah.
Because you will be a way nicer customer.
Right.
But
For sure.
I digress. So I did that, and then I actually was a traveling dietitian for about a year. 3 weeks a month, I would pick up and go somewhere else and help train other dietitians to do their jobs, which was super cool. And then I moved back home because my sister decided to have a baby, family things.
Yeah.
So I came back here, and I was still traveling, and Alec Faber, the former owner of Fitness Coliseum, had found this other endeavor called Fortitude, and he was transforming this golf course, and Fitness Coliseum just wasn't the direction he wanted to go anymore. And he literally called me up and said, "Hey, Bree, I want to sell FC." My sister was training there at the time, and she was a trainer, and he goes, "I really think you should buy it." I was like, well, that's nice. I'm glad you...
Buying a gym wasn't on your radar.
Yeah, I'm glad you have a plan for my 24-year-old life, Alec. Thanks for that. But I thought about it, and I talked it over with a lot of people, and did a lot of work and research to figure out if it was even viable. And I thought, you know what? This sounds awesome. It sounds like something I would absolutely love. And if there's ever a time for me to risk everything and go, head first into something, it's right now when I'm young and I don't have a family and any other actual responsibilities. Mm-hmm. So I did it, and I took the leap, and this is where we're at. It's been awesome.
All right. And how did you end up the head trainer, or one of the head trainers? Yeah.
Well, I guess I graduated from Durand. Athlete. I played basketball. I played volleyball. I ran track. Year-round sports. I was a big athlete, and so I've always been kind of interested in that aspect, and training. I think I had 5 gym classes my senior year, something like that. But I didn't think I could actually do something like that as a career option. So when I went to college at Lansing Community College, my college thought was I'd rather be in the medical field, just learning how the body works, figuring out what I want to do in that aspect. Do I want to do nursing or radiology tech or something along those lines? So that's kind of where I started my college journey. And I was in Lansing for a few years, decided to move back home, moved to Owosso, actually. That's when I started working at the hotel in Tanglewood, bartending, which I love to do, but the lifestyle is not ideal if you want to actually hang out with friends outside of the bar
Late
or
nights.
have a relationship of any kind. So I decided to go back to school, and I went back to the healthcare field and went in as a lab tech. Got a job right away. Was working in the hospital, worked in a nephrology clinic, which I loved, but that day-to-day stress, especially, and a lot of my friends in the medical field can attest, like Bree said, it's the same thing every day, but then there's so many more politics to the healthcare side of things that it's not always about the patient and taking care of people, and that, I was getting...
It wears on you.
I was getting sick. I was stressed out from my job because on top of doing my own, I was doing other people's and just burning my candle at both ends, and I needed to find an outlet. So my boyfriend's mom was like, well, why don't you come to Fitness Coliseum? You'd love it. It's right down your alley, which I will be honest, I gave up working out pretty regularly when college came around. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. I worked out in high school. It'll be fine. And my first time at the gym it kicked my butt, big time. And
I can relate.
Oh my God, I was like, I love this. I was addicted. And so I worked out there for a few years. And Alec approached me, Alec Faber, he was the owner at the time, and he's like, you'd be really good at this. You should do it. And I'm like, no. I have steady income, steady life. I think I'm going to just stick with what I'm doing. I would love to, but I don't think it's in the cards for me. I don't think I can do it. A whole year went by, and then he asked again, and he's like, I really think you should do this. You'd be good at it. And at that point, Tasha, she was a trainer. She was very pregnant, and I think Alec was like, now or never, because he is now desperate for another trainer. And I was like, you know what? I don't have kids. I'm not married. I mean, Dusty and I we bought our home, but I didn't really have any other obligations. I'm like, well, I guess if they say you're going to try something, might as well jump all in. So
Yeah.
I did the courses, worked with Alec. I worked under Alec, worked under Tasha. And then when Alec put the gym up, I was part of the package.
Yeah, I got Missy at the gym, so it was a pretty good deal.
It was very oh, well, I'm selling the gym. I'm like, what happens to me? I'm like, well, you're going with it. I'm like, oh, okay.
As long as I still have a job, I guess.
Yeah, I still have a job. Hopefully the new owner likes me.
And then it was me, and she's like, oh,
I was
this
like,
is so
oh,
much
this is
better
fine.
than Alec.
Yeah.
This is fine. So, yeah, that's kind of
So,
full circle.
so one of the things that sticks out to me about both of you is I coach basketball, high school
Yeah.
basketball, and I know just doing that, the commitment that it takes. But not only just the commitment, but to get up the energy during basketball season every day to be positive and motivate these kids when they don't want to be motivated sometimes, when they're being lazy,
Yeah.
and I just think, do you not realize I could be doing something else with my time when I'm
Absolutely.
here, give me
I've coached before.
Yeah,
I've coached high school sports, so it's
at
so
least
Missy, yeah.
give me everything. And so I have to purpose to get my energy up before I go to practice. And one of the things I've noticed about you guys is every day you guys at least appear to be full of energy, patient, not for to me, I feel like I would be the type that if I had told somebody how to do this move 87 times and they still don't have it,
How to do a squat.
finally be like, dude, you idiot. But you guys are never like that. I don't know how many times you've had to straighten out my back doing a deadlift or
Yeah.
even, a squat and not quite doing it right. And it's just, you guys are always so all right, and just patient. And
Yeah.
that to me means that you're doing something that you're passionate about and
Right.
that you
Yeah.
love. And I'm sure there are days where it's harder than others.
Oh, yeah.
But-
with anything.
But what do you guys love most about what you do? I mean, you're both capable people, could be doing a lot of other things, but
Yeah.
to do something like this requires some passion. So what do you love most about what you do?
I I love the idea that for a lot of people who walk in the gym, we are one of the best parts of their day. And we're one of the very few parts of their day that they do for themselves. Like I think about that a lot. Like you guys are always really positive. That's one of the things that helps keep me positive and keep acting in the way that we do is because I realize that, you know, and you guys are a good example. Like everything else that you guys do is for other people. You obviously have jobs, you have 6 freaking children, you know, Danica volunteers a lot. Like you guys do, you're super busy and you spend your entire day doing other things that possibly aren't all that fun and aren't for you. And, you know, and so I love the idea of like people coming into the gym, taking the time to take care of themselves and really wanting to enjoy it and like seeing that on their faces. And that's the best part for me. And that, and the fact that I get to do that 6 times a day, you know, we run 6 classes a day. I get to make, you know, someone's day great 6 times a day. It's totally worth it.
That's very real. That's very real. And I'm sure that, I know for us that when we get there, it's like, sometimes it's everything we can do to get there, but when we get there, we're so relieved to finally just be there. And then having people that are positive and encouraging makes all the difference.
Just seeing the energy when you get there, you're like, okay, we can do this. Let's do this.
Yeah, for sure. How about you?
I think I take it back to the healthcare standpoint, being in the hospital for so long, and even working in the nephrology clinic, seeing people that could have changed their outcome and refused to do so, and then ended up on dialysis. It didn't even have a valuable life anymore because they spend 3 to 4 days a week sitting on a machine for hours, only because they decided not to exercise, not to diet, not to take care of themselves. And I've always liked to help people, even when I was bartending. Like, you really turn into a therapist and a doctor, and like you're all these things, and you just make people feel better. And at the gym, seeing those people come in, and even the people that started on like ton of medicine and have these diseases, and seeing them go from having diabetes and hypertension to a year later not taking meds anymore, not even having diabetes anymore or hypertension, like knowing that I'm helping people stay healthy, or people that are there that are already healthy, like getting them to the point where you won't have to worry about hypertension, you don't have to worry about diabetes, like you're living a lifestyle to where you're going to be able to be around for your kids and your grandkids and maybe even your great grandkids. Like, to me, that's why I do it. Like, whether it's a stress thing for people or a medical thing for people, like, I'm making them feel better every day. And that's...
Well, and I would say that everything that you guys are describing absolutely shows through in your approach with not just us, but with everyone that's there. All of the people that come really like you guys. You seem to really like them.
Yeah.
People
Most
look forward to
Most of them.
yeah, and I mean, literally, you would think that you would see
No,
just
we really
people be
do.
miserable there, but everyone
Yeah.
always generally seems happy. And even at the end when we're done and it's like, finally.
Even halfway through when I'm like, if you make me do one more burpee, I'm going to be so mad. But then by the end
We
of it,
still
I'm
love
like,
you.
okay.
The looks.
I'm
It's
good.
the looks.
Because you see the results. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, thank you again. You know, we, from the bottom of our hearts, our lives are changed. Again, you know, we're going to be members with Fitness Coliseum for as long as we can foresee.
Yeah.
And our lives have truly changed. And if you're listening, I highly recommend you go give it a try. Someone can go to a class for free to try it out, right?
First time, yep.
Yeah.
First drop-in is always free.
So
Our
go
our schedule's on the website.
Go check it out. If you know us, give us a call. You can come with us as a guest.
I'll take you.
Yeah.
And I'm positive that if you go, you'll realize, all right, I can do this. I
Right.
can do this. And I would say 100% it will change your life if you commit to it. You can't do it halfway, though.
Yeah.
You have to go all in, jump in, both feet, and just do it. And don't think about what you're not going to get to do in life,
Right.
because you've done all that already. Now
Yeah.
think about what you need to do in life for the future of yourself and your family and your children and your well-being and all those things. So why don't you guys give our audience just a way that they can find Fitness Coliseum and how they could reach out if they're interested in coming?
Yeah, of course. So honestly, the easiest way to reach us is through Facebook. So find us as Fitness Coliseum on Facebook. Shoot us a message, or you can find me personally, Brianna Carroll, or Melissa Dora. Shoot us a Facebook message and say, hey, I'm interested. what do I got to do? We can get you a schedule. You can come in and meet us before you come to a class, whatever works.
Yep.
You can also check out our website. We're just fitnesscoliseum.com. Or you can email us at fcfitfam@gmail.com. Any of those options come straight to our team,
Yep.
and we would love to talk to you and get you in the gym.
Yeah.
Highly recommended. All right, last question. I always ask every guest this. Best piece of advice, okay? Not necessarily related to what we're talking about, but just what's your best piece of advice? We'll start with Missy.
Tip your bartender.
Tip your bartender.
Tip your bartender.
I like it.
They take good care of you.
Good advice. All right.
Mine is say no to stuff that you don't want to do. Just be okay with saying no.
Someone told me people say, I don't like to say no, and they say, well, when you say yes to something, you're also saying no to something else. So great advice. And you've heard a lot of great advice today. Those of you who follow me know that at the end of the show, I always say you can't and never could until you tried. And I don't think that applies any more than to this. It comes to changing your lifestyle, getting your life back on track, your fitness back on track, your health back on track. You can't and never could until you try. So go out today and try it. If you're not near Fitness Coliseum, find a place that you can try it. Maybe you've tried other gyms. Find something out there that will work for you, but you gotta start with trying. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being on the show today, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.